Before I start, I wanted to share this with you. This is my understanding. I don't know shit. All I'm doing here is sharing my journey. And the things that I say are the things that I feel. This is just my journey. If this journey makes sense to you and you understand what I'm saying, then stick around. But if it's offensive, don't stick around. And it is important for me to share the things that I feel and the things that have happened to me in my life. I want to say obviously to this, but it seems like it's not that obvious. The things that I say are just my opinion. And if I say things in a hyperbolic manner, then you can just take it as that. A lot of things that happened to me in my past make me extremely angry. It makes me furious. And I'm just sharing those feelings and the reasons why I think this is happening. So this is my story. This is my journey. If you're a Christian and you don't want to hear offensive things said, then leave. But if you want to stick around, stick around. I really do appreciate everyone. G'day everyone, I'm Ben and this is Counterfeit Christianity. Really glad to be here again today. Thanks so much for being on the journey with me. If you are following along, I really do appreciate you. It's an honor for me that people are continuously subscribing and listening and commenting and all that sort of good stuff. I really appreciate it. I appreciate that this is helping us all start thinking about the things that we think and believe, and the things that we've been taught, and the things that we just do because. It's sort of like what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about this idea of asking the question, why? This is not something that I used to ask. I very rarely would have asked why about anything. I've come along this journey over about a decade, and asking why has been part of my journey. It's really the reason that I'm in this position right now. Everything comes from asking why. When we're younger, we always ask why, don't we? And the answers to those questions that we have when we're younger are always just other people's answers, and that is pretty much how we live our lives forever. We usually just sit on that answer that they have given us. It's really interesting to me, that concept of we ask why and someone tells us why, and then we're like, sweet, that's it, eh? I have noticed that, well, first of all in myself, once I started asking why and not accepting what people say just because, some of the answers to the questions that I've asked, or that we do ask if we come along this journey, are kind of ridiculous when you think about it. You have to start paying attention to see what you actually think about things. And that's what the journey that I've been on. I really do like that, because if you ask somebody or something why this is happening and why that is happening, usually it's just a rote answer that somebody else has given them. And I've talked about this before. Most of our thoughts and most of the things that we think are us are not. They're just things that have been given to us by our parents a lot, and by the places that we've been in life, the groups of people that we hang out with. There's always a communal answer. There's a communal thing that must be thought. We don't realize it when we're children. We're usually brute forced. We're usually forced into having these thoughts. We don't recognize that we're forced into the way that we're thinking, into these patterns of thinking. When you go into another group of people like Christians, and I would assume any other religion, there's this group thinking that you must adhere to. And people get offended when you ask why. First of all, you're not allowed to ask why, or if you do ask why, they'll give you the answer. But if that answer is not good enough for you, then that's probably all that they can take. And that's when the words like heretic and going to hell and you're evil start coming out. I've seen it in real life quite often as I've paid attention to the things that have happened to me in the past. When people don't like what you think, then they'll get angry at you and question you and excommunicate you, stuff like that. The first initial why is okay, and then if you accept their answer, no worries. But then after that, it's unacceptable to ask why again. And I've realized that in real life and in the comments as well. You see, people have answers for everything. Even people that agree with what I'm saying, they want to explain more of what they think is the answer, and that everyone has this in them, that they have the answer and what they believe is the answer, and all you have to do is come along them to be right and on the right path. That's really, really frustrating to me, because it's so ridiculous that people think that they have answers for things. We all think that we know specific things, and I guess that could be classed as your opinion. But as long as you understand that you know that that is your opinion, and it's not the be all and end all, it's not exactly what is truth, then I guess you're okay. That's what I'm trying to talk to myself about, is just because I think something is right or I believe something, like we can't actually know the past. We can only know what other people have told us about the past. So as long as I understand that the things that I believe is just my opinion and that's okay, then I can be a lot more free within myself and accept other people a lot more easily and freely as well. I find that really fun to look at yourself. This question of why has really made me turn around and look at myself and think about these things that I believe and these things that I think are true, and why do I think them, and where have these thoughts come from. And this has been massively freeing. This journey of thinking this way has been massively freeing for me, because what it actually came from is understanding that the living God, that my daddy, our daddy, what he wants is a relationship, and everything surrounding that relationship has no meaning. Most people in the world will say, you have to believe this, like it's good to listen to God, but you also have to like believe the Bible 100% as well. Or whatever it is that's your little flavor of understanding that you want other people to have. As long as people around you have that, then it's okay. But I don't agree with that at all. I want to be glad to be with people no matter what. No matter what is fucking important, isn't it? No matter what. Even if you think the exact opposite of me and believe the exact opposite of me and have a different opinion to me, I want that no matter what. And I don't see that in people very often. I don't find that in relationships very often. I find that most people cannot accept that. The glad to be with each other no matter what. The joy, I love that definition of joy. Glad to be with each other no matter what. Not many people are okay with that no matter what. They say it if you're on the same place and the same thinking as them. I'm glad to be with you no matter what. But if you ask too many questions, ask too many whys to their answers that they give you, then they're not okay with being with you. It doesn't work like that for them. The no matter what gets thrown out the door. And that happens very, 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 very often. And I've struggled to find people like that. They are out there. I have a few people like that in my life. But I do struggle with that. And if we could just be like that, I recognize that most people who are like that are not Christian. I say this very often. The reason I talk about Christianity like this is because that's what I was brought up in. I was brought up in the cult of Christianity. And I'm sure people who have removed themselves from other religions will speak the exact same way and remove themselves from other cults, and they'll speak the exact same way. It's just that people inside of these groups, they have these underlying beliefs about things that is considered fact. And if you don't come alongside with them in that thought, then they cannot accept you. For some reason, it just fucks with their minds. And it's just like, you're a bad person. I can't be with you anymore. What am I going to do here? Then you're gone. And the no matter what means absolutely nothing. And I understand that it doesn't make sense, because we're all so captured by this world and by our thoughts and by the truths and the lies in this world. We're so captured by that we can't see other human beings for what they actually are, that they're human beings. They're not another person, they're human beings. I've been forced along this journey because of the things that have happened to me in my past that have forced me into being real and authentic. I have no choice but to be real and authentic because of what has happened. I can't accept anything but myself being real and authentic. I can't pretend that I don't feel things. I can't pretend that this stuff is not happening to me and like just shut my eyes and go along into oblivion and just be like, oh, well, I'll just pretend so that I can fit in with everybody. It's unacceptable for me. It doesn't work. I can't do it. It grates on my soul to be inauthentic. And most people don't understand that at all. At all, because they have never asked themselves the question, why? Why do I think this stuff? Why do I believe this stuff? Where is all this stuff coming from? And that journey has taken me to where I am right now. I have been brought into this place of seeing things in a different way. I have a massively different perspective. And my work that I do gives me a massively different perspective because I see other people in the same position as me, forced into being real and authentic. They have no fucking choice but to be real and authentic. And it makes me see people for who they truly are, themselves. I see you as a human. It makes me struggle to be with people who aren't real and authentic. If I recognize and I feel in myself that this person's just saying things, it makes it really hard for me, because people who are just saying things lying to themselves and lying to everybody around them. They can't even speak the words that they want to speak because of all these things chaining them up. And it's like, why can't you just see how you're feeling and release it? And I have been forced along this journey by the Creator, by the living God, by our Daddy. And I call him Daddy because he told me to. People don't understand that either. I love that because I asked him, what do you want me to call you? And he's like, call me Daddy. That's who I am. I'm your daddy. I'm not afraid to question things anymore because I'm absolutely secure in who my daddy is. And I know that it makes people really, really offended, and Christians get really, really offended when I say these things, that I am actually a son of God, of the living God. I am with him. And all these things that they consider to be real and believe in is not real. It's just the system around a relationship with the living God. It's not real. It's just what people have built up into the place of God. It's really hard to understand, and it's really offensive to people because I used to be in that place when people said anything about Christians, fuck you, how dare you speak like that? I used to be like that because I used to live inside of that indoctrination of Christianity. I remember being pitted against other religions because that's what is happening inside of it. Oh, everyone's going to hell, so you're pitted against each other. And then they use these fake words of love, in Christianity especially. Other religions don't waste their time with that. They just say, fuck you, you're burning in hell, and I'm going to kill you. But that's why it's so inauthentic and fake. To ask these questions, to say these things, to even offend people. Because this idea of being offended is what helped me come along this journey of asking why. If someone offends you, ask that question. Why am I feeling offended right now? What is it that's making me angry? This was part of my journey as well. Asking yourself these questions. Why? Why am I feeling these things? Where is it coming from? I was drawn into this life of just questioning things and speaking about this. And this channel is not really a choice that I made to do. It sort of just flowed. I had this feeling that I need to do this. And this is where I'm at because of that. I can't do anything else. I can't be anything else. It's really fun and freeing for me. And if it makes sense to you, that's great. But if it doesn't, leave your angry comment and go on your way. It's fine. Or leave your pretend loving comment if you're a Christian. But anyway, yeah, like always, this is my understanding. I don't know shit. I'm really thankful for you guys, and I'm really thankful to people who are following along with me on this journey. And I'm just a stupid Aussie bogan on the journey, on the way with our daddy. And I'm really thankful. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.